And hello again. Well,
No soundboard.
no soundboard. So if I plug this thing in right here, it'll work better?
Yeah, that'd help.
What do you think now?
You're
I gotta love it.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. Nathan Zug is with us. Love Anaheim. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you with us. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it used to come to me first. There are now operators standing by, but I still chat with everybody that wants to chat with me.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Except while we are broadcasting. It's hard for me to chat with everybody. But hey, if you've got something you want to chat about, put it in the chat box. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. You can give us authorization so we know who you are, who's chatting with us. And while I do have a great team, again, when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Yes, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day. But this is a tough one today because we've got National Pharmacist Day. And boy, the pharmacists, they're working their tails off nowadays. I understand that one. They've got a tough job. This one here, you got to get permission. I mean, I like to celebrate, but you got to get permission on this one because today's National Kiss a Ginger Day. So you better get permission first, otherwise you might get slapped. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know about this one because I'm not really into spicy food, but today's National Curried Chicken Day. If you're into spicy food, I know there's a lot of people that love curry. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So, for me, I noticed today's also National Marzipan Day. So marzipan, I think, I'm not much of a baker or a cooker. I'm a consumer. Obviously, if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, you can tell that I am a consumer of most good food. Marzipan, though, I think that's how they make the fanciness out of cakes and whatnot. So Marzipan Day is today as well. Dow Jones now up 40 points, S&P 500 up 13, NASDAQ up 50. And the troublesome number of the day, yes, oil is up $1.67 a barrel, up $1.67 a barrel.
Ow!
Yeah. We didn't look at this yesterday, but now that oil's back moving again, maybe we should we take a look? I don't know. Maybe we should take a look at this. Maybe somebody's going to tell me that some good news on the oil front. But generally, oil kind of translating right there into gasoline. Our tremendous underwriter, Lori, she's paying $3.03 a gallon. Wish we could get that, huh, Josh? Newest member of our team, Jody, she's at $3.60 a gallon. Josh, you're down again, Josh. What's the deal? 381.6. You're down at $3.82 a gallon. Here in California, we're at $4.65 a gallon.
Ow!
Yeah, the national average $3.30. and the oil producing state of Hawaii, where I'm thinking about going to just make sure that this is right. $4.34 a gallon for gasoline in Hawaii. And I'm sure it's going to be going up when you start looking at what these numbers are doing, what the markets are doing, how gas prices continue, or oil prices. Think about this, $82 a barrel. What do you think oil was a year ago at this time? Do you think it was more or less than it is right now? I'm going with that it was probably a whole lot less at the time. Let's see if I can get a 1-year number on oil. Yeah, it was about $53 a barrel 1 year ago. Now we're at almost $83 a barrel. Wonder what happened. No inflation. That can't be the case. I'm sure there's no inflation going on. President told us, and Jerome Powell told us that it's transitory. And Jerome Powell yesterday, he's going to, I don't know, I think the president might be a little upset with Jerome Powell. So yesterday was the Jerome Powell's confirmation hearing, and he made a comment that the president probably, even though now the president has nominated Mr. Powell, now it's for the Senate to confirm him. So here's the issue. So that Mr. Powell and Congress made a comment that the economy is doing just fine and we do not need any more stimulus money. Ooh.
Nothing like a little air of superiority.
Telling the president and the Democrats in Congress we don't need more stimulus? Really? What else do they have to go on other than giving more money away? That's all they've been doing for a long time. But now we see that the Fed, they're looking at raising interest rates maybe as soon as March. I said May, but they're saying maybe as soon as March. Some are saying 3 times this year. Some are saying 6 times this year.
What's the big idea?
Yeah, I don't know. So the president might be a little upset with nominating Mr. Powell. But you know something, Mr. Powell is probably more accurate than what the president's been telling us, because we just got the inflation numbers today. Did you see those? So those came out this morning, and we got numbers on inflation, seeing that, and I'm going to tell you right now that these are understated numbers, and I'm going to tell you why they're understated numbers. Core reading, rose by 0.6%, hotter than expected on a year-over-year basis. The core reading jumped from 4.9 to 5.4. Now, core means you take out food and energy. I don't know about you, but I need food and I need energy. All right, so I don't know why. I do know why they do that. I'll tell you in a minute. But the overall number went from 6.8 to 7% inflation. Now, we told you in our forecast on Monday, 7% inflation means big trouble. But also when the government is giving away $5 trillion a year, when they're just creating money, remember the government's budget is about $4 trillion a year. And then between President Trump and President Biden, they created another $10 trillion in giveaways over the last 2 years. So that's $5 trillion a year, 10 divided by 2. Yeah, my math, I think, is right. $5 trillion a year. Now, if they don't do that again in 2022, guess what? Government spending is going to drop by more than 50%. Well, 2 negative quarters of negative GDP, that's called a recession. When the biggest spender in the world doesn't spend or cuts their spending by 50%, we're going to have a recession. Recession means interest rates are going to have to drop at that time. Well, the Federal Reserve, inflation hurts the... Really, Joe? Okay, Joe Ingram is on the line. Okay. We're going to have to get Joe in here to talk about inflation does not hurt the rich. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm going to debate that one. So Joe says it's okay. Inflation hurts the rich. I think that's probably being said in jest, right? Because do you think the rich change their lifestyle? Do you think that Jeff Bezos cares if oil is $4 a gallon or $5 a gallon or $6 a gallon? Do you think Elon Musk cares? Well, obviously he doesn't care because he created an electric car. But can the needy get an electric car? No, they can't afford it. Right? So they're out there paying boatloads of money, way more than anybody else. So who does inflation hurt? Yeah, when you go and look, and I just heard this morning, the supply chain. Grocery stores say they're out of about 15% of their inventory, out of stock. Now, I don't know about you. I probably could go to Whole Paycheck and get whatever I want, but not everybody can afford that, right? I tell my wife not to go there. She has to wait. I think she has to wait another year because I think you get a discount when you're 60 and she's not old enough yet. I shouldn't have just said how long she has to wait. Thank goodness she doesn't listen. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Got a great broadcast for you today. We're going to talk about civil responsibility. Maybe that, in my opinion, I'm just throwing my opinion out there. 2 ways home buyers can win in today's market. We'll chat about that. And maybe eventually, Josh, we're going to get into how to start building your credit for free. We've tried for a few days. I'm a little slow here. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Ask for Nikki. She's standing by, able to help you with any of your home loan needs or discussions. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up. Whoa, it's coming back. It's only up 8.8. S&P 500 up 6.64. NASDAQ up 17.81. 10-year Treasuries down 2 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities up 13 basis points. That means that interest rates are finally coming back down a little bit. They were going straight up for quite a while. We told you we thought they might, but they are finally turning around a little bit. But let's see. I told you already about inflation, so we've already dealt with that one today. The Mortgage Bankers Association released their mortgage application data last week, showing that purchase applications rose 2%, but they are still down 17% year over year. When factoring in the rise of cash buyers, it's closer to 8%, which is quite strong considering higher home prices, inventory down 13%, and higher interest rates. Interest rates are now 64 basis points, about 5/8 higher than they were this time last year, the highest level since March of 2020. Zillow and Postsonomics Home Price Expectation Survey released, which is a survey with done over 100 top economists in the U.S. Now, this is a great survey. I love this one because it does take into all of these individuals. It kind of filters them all in. So they're saying that they're forecasting a rise in real estate values of about 6.6%, 6.6 this year. Still a great number. Remember, Orange County, California, 5.3% is the 62-year average. So, okay, that's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Joe's got some clarifications. I figured this is what he was talking about, that it's a liberal tagline on MSNBC. Hee-haw. Oh, now he thinks it's the Cannabis News Network. Then he gave me the link. It's back on MSNBC. Hee-haw. Come on, Joe, I can't keep up with you, man. Which one is it? Is it MSN? And if you want to write down that link, I can't figure it out. But that's the article where they're giving us this information. So thanks for piping in, Joe. You are right that inflation does hurt the working American more than it hurts anybody else. But what about the less privileged, maybe even less privileged than the working American? That is our subject this morning. Nathan Zug is with us. Love Anaheim, and we better get formal here, Nathan. JMH Anaheim. Why do I use Anaheim? Because Anaheim's a big city within our network area. So always like using Anaheim because not only are they a leader in the communities, but heck, I like Anaheim. What the heck? Spreading goodness, meeting needs, and demonstrating kindness.
That's right.
I like that idea. So tell me a little bit about Love Anaheim.
So Love Anaheim is a service project or aggregator of meeting needs, and it is bringing together multiple sectors in the city to do the best things. And sometimes the best things don't get done. And so we help volunteers mostly. We have some staff, but we have mostly volunteers giving back to the community and doing good things across the city.
I like that. So now, where do you get all your volunteers at?
So we have a website that people can sign up for different projects, and we list the projects that people can volunteer on the website. And then we do single projects different weeks over the year, and then we have a whole day sometimes that is 10 or 15 projects that we work on for months, and then it's multiple projects on at one time.
So who are the people that are doing these projects? Is it the average citizen? Is it students who explore? I know the city of Anaheim has a great explorer program.
It's all the above. So I say that there's 6 sectors in the city: businesses, nonprofits, service orgs like a Rotary Club, school districts, faith-based groups, and then the city and all of its departments. So there's those sectors. And so we bring together all those sectors. So people volunteer from any of those, from schools, children, youth, families from faith-based groups, businesses, service clubs. So we bring together a lot of people to work together at doing good things.
You know something, and I'm just going to throw it out there because I think that we need to. I know so I sent it. Two of my boys went to a parochial school. One went to public school, and I think all of them are now getting to a point where they're mandating some sort of community service.
Correct.
And I think that's great. I think that we need to teach people more and more about how to get into the community service world.
Yeah, actually the biggest high school district in Anaheim Union High School District, they require 10 hours of community service to graduate. It was
10 hours to graduate.
So it's a couple a year. What is that?
That's a good start,
12,
right?
Yeah, it's a good start. I think it's 12, but it's a number of hours each year that they have to actually turn a form in that says they volunteered in the community this number of hours. So we do get those students too.
That's we got to get back to some of these things. Are again, my opinion. I can't give anybody else's opinion because I only have one. Well, maybe I have more than one. But we've got we've got so polarized in our country that and on social media, we look at it all the time and we're constantly saying me. Right? And we don't think about, there's a lot that can be done that's not me. Right? That's about helping our community, helping our fellow citizens. And our elected leaders, for the most part, have abdicated any responsibility in this arena, right? In my opinion, again. So we need to have people like you that are out there spearheading some of these things and saying, here's a place that you can go and participate, and you get to you actually come up or you or your organization come up with different projects. Am I right?
Correct. We vet. We vet projects, and then we queue them in on a certain date.
Okay.
And
tell me about some of the projects you do. What are just give me an idea of a few of the projects you do or have done.
So in the coming weeks, we're going to help a local high school establish a 2-acre agricultural center. It's kind of a bigger project than the school, but so actually this coming week, we're going to spread 200 cubic yards of topsoil on the area that they've designated. We're going to plant 180 berry plants.
So give me an idea here, because I don't even know how to use a screwdriver. So 200 cubic acres?
200 cubic yards.
200 cubic yards.
So a big dump truck's 8 yards.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of dump trucks.
So is that like a 5 or 6 football fields or something worth? Would that be kind of a guess?
I'd say 4 football fields with 4 inches flat on it.
Wow, that's a lot. So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of work.
So we'll have about 30 people on that project with wheelbarrows, shovels, and spreading that topsoil on the area. And then we have another project of planting berry plants in a berry patch, 180 of them. And then fixing up park benches that have been, they're going to be refurbished to put in the area. That's one of the projects. Another project that day will be creating care baskets for the school counselors across the district. So there's 100 counselors across the district. We're going to tell them, thanks for helping others and for caring for people. We're going to put a little care basket together for them, 100 of them, and then a card that says thank you, personally addressed, with their name on it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
You got a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of projects here. How many people are involved in all of these things?
Well, we had in 2021, 2,150 volunteers throughout the year. And so that's week after week, month after month. So for example,
that's a lot.
It's a lot. Each Saturday, we pack 600 food bags for those in need across Anaheim. Those are distributed through family resource centers, but we have a grant fund that allows us to purchase food, and we take produce donations. So every Saturday we have about 20 volunteers. So every Saturday, packing food bags that then go that next week to family resource centers, and they're distributed by the city to people that have a need. So that's 20 volunteers a week if you just do that math. This project we're doing next week will have about 150 volunteers on about 10 projects.
Well, you know something, that's this year it's interesting, but last year when you really think about what was going on in our world, 2021, we've got so many people that are trying to isolate and stay away because of the virus going around and whatnot, and to have that many people that are saying, something, I'm going to come out to help, my community, my fellow citizens, whatever.
Substantial.
That's a great number.
Yeah, and it wasn't, of course, these days it's challenging. So
sure.
We had stuff outside. We made it work where we had groups of 5 to 10 doing different things spread out outside. Mostly we have different places that we can do our assembly projects, assembling things. And then food pantries that we support, they're outside. So we did all the safe stuff with volunteers that were willing to come out and help somebody else.
So even when we've got COVID going on and we've got isolation, there's still people that are hungry.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Right? That doesn't stop the fact that the government says, or whomever says, stay inside or stay indoors or stay away from others. You've still got people that are suffering in our community.
Correct. One of the superintendents in Anaheim, we have 7 school districts in Anaheim, believe it or not.
7 school districts?
7, yeah. But there's some major and minor ones. But one of the school districts let us know, before COVID, we had people that needed resources and food. During COVID, we have more people that need help with food. And then after COVID, if that ever comes, we're going to need food also. So
sure.
So we continued to provide resources during COVID. And we did it. The word was pivot. We pivoted a lot.
Yeah.
And we just still made it happen. We have a pantry we support right now every week for 100 families in one of the local school districts. And so each week the families are notified and they can drive through, stay in your car, drive through, and we give them a box of dry goods, about 30 pounds, and then a box of produce, and then a little goodie bag that has other donated items. And what we call our touch point is something
Let's
that...
talk about that when we come back. Goodie bags and touch point and helping families and trying to make sure that, well, here in this case, 100 families out of one school district that need to eat, right? And they're out helping them. So we're gonna continue our conversation with Nathan. That easy for me to say. Nathan Zug. Love Anaheim is the organization. We need to love everybody, right? We have a love fest going on. You can reach. We can also talk about 2 ways home buyers can win in today's market, how to start building your credit for free, all that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So one of the beauties of live radio is sometimes things happen. So I just tried changing one of my wires in that real quick break there. So I'm watching Josh to see if I'm still, I'm even talking. I don't know if I know I'm talking. I don't know if you're hearing me. 2 ways home buyers can win in today's market. That's the subject of the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Get 1 monthly email talking to you about the value of your home. What has it done over the last month? What's the market doing? If your goal is to purchase a home this year, you might be looking for any advantage you can get in today's seller's market. While competition is still fierce for home buyers, there are ways you can win and secure the home of your dreams, even in a hot market. Act early and save. The earlier you act this year, the more affordable your purchase will be. That's because experts project mortgage rates will rise as we move deeper into 2022. According to Freddie Mac, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is expected to be 3.5% by year's end. Experts forecast home prices will rise as well. That means the longer you wait, the more it will cost you to buy a home. Instead, act early, purchase your home before rates and prices rise farther. Not to mention, the sooner you buy, the sooner you can experience the benefits of continued home price appreciation. Once you have your home, you'll be able to watch its value rise, giving you confidence that your investment is a sound one. Buy now, move later. Keep in mind, with high buyer demand like we're seeing today, you'll be competing against other potential home buyers, which means you need to find a way to stand out. One way to accomplish this is to negotiate with sellers and present terms that meet their ideal needs. You got to ask them what their needs are in order to meet their needs. Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com, explains one lever flexible buyers can pull to entice sellers. Quote, for buyers with more flexible timelines, such as those making a move from a big city, offering a couple extra months on the closing date, could sweeten the deal for sellers who also need to buy their next home, unquote. In other words, if you're eager to purchase a home now before it becomes more costly and you don't have to move right away, you could extend the date of your closing and provide the seller with the time they need to find their next home. That's a deal that could benefit both parties and help you stand out from the crowd. Of course, it's important to work with a real estate professional for expert advice on how to make your best offer. Your trusted advisor knows what's working in your market and what may appeal to sellers. Bottom line, experts project home prices and interest rates will rise in 2022. That means buyers who are ready should act soon and find ways to strengthen their offer to meet sellers' needs. Let's connect today to to learn how you can win in today's market, and I can put you in touch. Again, I am not a realtor, and I lead a lending team. Nikki will help you there, but I'll put you in touch with the right people to make sure that you are getting everything that you need. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564 or visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Continue our conversation this morning. Nathan Zug is with us. Love Anaheim is the organization doing some great things in the city of Anaheim. Do you think your city could follow suit? And I'm just guessing that probably 99% of the cities around have people that are struggling, have people that are homeless, have people that need to learn a little bit about serving others. You know, kind of covers it all, doesn't it?
It does.
How much, what do you think is the ratio? Do you get more benefit out of serving others or being that recipient who's getting that family that needs food?
Definitely, I would say serving and giving back is beneficial, more beneficial than receiving. Although it's hard when you have to think, do I pay
Tough
my
question.
rent? Yeah. So giving back is really beneficial.
You know, it makes you feel good.
It does.
Right. I mean, I know a lot of folks. I've said this for the last, it's almost 12 years now. I've been doing the radio program, and I've been saying this right along is that we're blessed to have this megaphone, right? And if we don't do it and use this megaphone for good and for serving others, you know, we're an educational program. We never sell anything on Ron Siegel Radio, but we do offer education, and the idea of this education and helping people, and then coming up with something like this, where you talk about a school district, and you know, when you said how many school districts are in Orange County? In Anaheim, I mean?
7. It touches 7 school districts. Yeah, there's some main ones, but there's actually 7.
Oh, you know, you have to wonder, because I know. Well, you know something that's kind of funny, because I know that right by where our studio, we've got 2 schools that are within probably 4 miles, and they're each in a different school district, right? So,
Right.
Now, I don't know, probably neither one of those school districts are have the needs that you're talking about. One of them might. But talk about these goodie bags or touch bags you were talking about?
So what we realized in COVID was that when people came to have resources met, either hygiene items or food items, they were nervous. You know, are they going to get something? Are the people going to run out at the food bank before they get their food? They got to drive in there. So different challenges. So just to help them relax, we would have a person greet them, you know, safely in the wraps of COVID, mask and distancing, but at the car window, hey, thanks for coming today. We have a gift for you. And these gifts were various items that we would have volunteers assemble. So one of the items is a balloon that's filled with rice, which our volunteers made. And it's a simple thing, but it has a tag on it that says, Love Anaheim believes in you. And so just a human telling another human, we believe in you. Thanks for coming today. So we handed out this last year 26,000 touch points at our food pantries. And it's about a dozen or 2 items that we assemble with volunteers that we then hand out when people come for resources. So it's kind of a bonus for them to get a little gift, have a 10-second, hey, you matter, and we care about you. Every human needs to hear that.
You know something, that's a great thought, right? I mean, and I've been at one of the areas. We do some educational events, and at this particular venue that we use, they actually do have the food distribution there. I think it's on Tuesdays. I'm not sure, but it's really interesting to me to watch when they're doing that, because the individuals in need drive up and they pop their trunk. They never get out of the car.
Correct.
Right. And then the volunteers, I think they're volunteers, I don't know, put the resources in the trunk, close the trunk, and wish them a good day. I'm not sure they ever even say anything to one another. I think they have to give them their name or something like that. Right. do they open a window and give a name?
Most of them have a check-in process of some kind.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, we just use the same facility, but it's wonderful seeing that people have a resource or a place to go.
Yeah.
Because we need to be saying thank you. We need to be taking care of those that are less fortunate.
Correct.
I'm a big believer. I know you do a lot of work with law enforcement. I'm a big believer that our men and women in first responders are not the less fortunate, but we have to say thank you to them all the time.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah.
As we know, on leaders especially, but then just people serving.
Right.
And
explain what you mean by the wear and tear there.
Wear and tear. When things change, we're creatures of habit and routine, and it takes time and energy and a toll on us when we have to change and adjust. So all during COVID, we've had to change and adjust weekly, daily sometimes. And so the leadership that's making those decisions that impact hundreds or thousands of people, it's take a toll on them mentally and emotionally. So just being mindful of the wear and tear of emotional thought and feeling, even though we're doing our business, taking care of business, doing our job, it takes a toll on service-oriented people like first responders and leaders of various kinds, school teachers. They have taken a mental, emotional toll.
Yeah, that's amazing when you think about that, because we don't always think about that part of it. And you end up when you're doing it. I know I've talked to many first responders. One of the big issues that they have is they learn how to read people. Right? And just the idea of having a mask on. Whoever thought you'd be required to wear a mask to go into a bank? Right? I mean, those are things that we don't think about. But and then you get the police having to deal with who's the good guy, who's not. Not being able to read facial expressions and things like that.
Right, and just the attitude of thanks and gratitude, like you said, that means something.
Right.
And we've lost sometimes the attitude of gratitude or the attitude of thankfulness or even just peacefulness. That's something that we need to add to all of our environments if possible.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. And you're right, exactly right. Is we do need to add that back and get back to 2019 where we were all, well, maybe not all, but we did have a more appreciative tone. And it needs to start. I think there's no reason we can't start it from the bottom up, right? If our elected officials don't want to do it, maybe we can teach them something.
Agree.
Right?
Agree.
So get out there and help somebody. We're going to continue our conversation with Nathan Zug when we come back. We might even talk about how maybe you can help. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's time. We all have something to offer. I know at one point in my life, we couldn't afford to be the one writing the check, but we could certainly put in the elbow grease. Where do you fit in? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, I think we're going to finally get it done, Josh. We're going to put this segment in there today. How to start building your credit for free. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. And I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. I'm sorry, mysocallender.net. I got to get these right. I was a little behind on that one. I saw the scroll and hit it wrong. It's shoot the host. No, I did not say that. Don't shoot the host. Yeah, paintball. Maybe that'll work. How to start building your credit for free, whether it's an annual fee, loan origination fee, or interest you can't avoid. Many of the options for building credit require some sort of payment. This can make establishing your credit file and improving your FICO score challenging. However, if you know where to look, you'll find there are a few free ways to get started. Become an authorized user on a credit card. Rather than applying for a credit card on your own, you may be able to establish and build your credit by having someone like a close friend or family member add you as an authorized user on one of their cards. It's often a free option, and the credit card company will send you an authorized user card that's linked to the primary cardholder's account, but double check with the card company first because policies can vary, and some card issuers might not report the account to the credit bureau under your name. Use an interest-free lending circle. An option that puts you more in control is to look for a credit builder loan that does not have origination, administration, or service fees and does not charge you interest. Some nonprofits create and manage these to help people establish and build their credit. One of the most common forms is a lending circle. Generally, 6 to 12 people are put together in a group, and each member contributes an equal amount, such as $50 to $200 each month, to the circle's pool. One member receives the entire pool amount, and the recipient changes until every member has a chance to receive the fund. Lending circles have historically been informal community-driven savings programs. By creating an organized structure and formal loan documents, the nonprofits that run the circles can report the monthly payments to the credit bureaus. One potential downside is you won't know where you'll be in the order until after your lending circle is formed. While it might not cost you any money in the end, you could have to make the monthly payments for a while before it's your turn to get the pool. What a flexible secured credit card. Traditional secured cards require you to send the issuer a minimum refundable security deposit. $200 is the common amount. Determines your loan account's credit limit. While you get the money back, it could be inconvenient and expensive in the interim. Plus, some secured cards have annual fees and high interest rates. Add rent, utility, or other monthly bills to your credit report. This is another option. If you want the whole report, give me a call at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. That is the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by mysocallender.com. mysocallender.com. Continuing our conversation this morning, giving and receiving. I don't know if you've read this book, Nathan. It's called The Go-Givers. Bob Berg wrote this book. Great guy, and it basically talks about the value of being the recipient. Because there's a lot of people that love the idea of giving and don't ever want to be the recipient. And by not being the recipient, they're basically taking away someone else's pleasure. Wow. Right? And you and I were talking about that earlier, is the idea of if you're able to join a group like Love Anaheim or any of the others that provide services out to the community, not only do you get that sense of joy, but somebody else, you might make their day.
You do.
Right? I mean, in your case where you're giving out food to people, right? That's about the most basic of needs.
Yes. Right?
Is just being able to fill someone's belly. Correct. But then you're talking about the parks that you're doing. What are their?
Well, we have 3 basic programs. One is what I've been talking about, service projects or service events that help meet needs on various levels. And then we have a pathway to work for homeless that we operate too, which is assisting homeless individuals in the city of Anaheim with particularly momentum towards a job skills, and experience. So we have 2 parts to that. One, they get a gift card for serving for 4 to 5 hours and get connected to services. And then the second part is they actually are employed 1 or 2 days a week by us. And that cohort of people have a little bit more momentum than just trying to find work at all. And so we work in parks regularly in the city by spreading mulch or wood chips, painting trash cans, picking up trash, or deep cleaning with things that the trash removal service doesn't get, like bottle cap, sucker stick, things that people leave that kind of look unsightly and they take hours to do. So we have a program called Pathway to Work for Homeless, Better Way Anaheim, that goes into parks weekly and improves the look and feel of the park. And it also, like you said, giving back, it gives the people doing the work dignity. When you spread new wood chips in a playground area and it looks nicer, smells nicer, and it's safer, you walk away and you say, what I did today mattered, and I should do that tomorrow.
That's wonderful, right? I mean, when you think about it, I mean, our parks, we many of us grew up in the parks and had a good time. And I've shared many times the I don't know if you remember these days, but when the street lights went on, it was time to go home, right? I guess you're old when you remember that, but the bottom line is that having a great park to go to,
right?
And just go and play and have safe. In this day and age, I'm sure moms and dads are out there making sure they're watching the kids, but having that, it's good to fall down in the park, right? And
right.
Go off the slide right into a safe stack of wood chips is probably better than going into hard mulch or something or
right.
mud.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't guess we get too much mud in Southern California. Where's all the funding come from for this, Nathan?
So that program is funded by the city of Anaheim,
okay.
Homeless funding that is part of the whole taking care of the homeless in the city. So that's a city-funded program, Better Way Anaheim. Our service projects that I was talking about earlier, that's funded by sponsorships. We have a sponsorship program that people can donate anywhere from $500 to more than $5,000, just different levels of sponsorships that help us do those events. And then we have grant funding that we also receive. Last year, we stewarded $150,000 worth of grant funding from groups in the city that wanted us to provide resources for those that needed resources. So when we take a grant fund, we also take donations so that we can stretch that fund further. So like during COVID, we got pallets of hand sanitizer, little 2-ounce bottles. We were going to purchase that with our grant funding, but because we got the pallets donated, we didn't have to spend it on hand sanitizer. So we spent it on other things so we could stretch those funds. And so we have contract funding, grant funding, sponsorships, and then private donors. We have a whole group of people that just say, I'm going to give $50 a month. I'm going to give $10 a month. I'm going to give $200 a month to help make this work. Because we do need staff.
Sure.
And we need directors that supervise. And then most of our people are volunteers, key volunteers that run a project or just come out for 3 or 4 hours and volunteer once in a while or every week.
So your pathway to work, does that help somebody teach them to be a long-term employee? Because we've had it. Now we do home and finance here, so I know we had 11 million open jobs in the country that came out on this last jobs report or JOLTS report. Is that program teaching them how to have a full-time job or to obtain a full-time job or something productive?
Yes, it does. It links them to opportunities that are more towards full-time or full-time. Because sometimes when you haven't worked and you have challenges, you aren't ready for 40 hours or more
Sure.
a week. So it incrementally adds to their responsibility palette, I would call it.
Okay.
Life skills, job skills, timeliness, momentum. And then we help them find a job that fits them, whether that's 3 days a week or 5 days a week.
So you need employers to reach out to you as well who may have various needs.
Correct. So in the next 3 years, we started from zero with a new contract from the city on the net for the next 3 years. So we're in year one of that 3-year agreement. And the custom part of this contract is actually building a job network of employers in Anaheim or close to Anaheim that would be willing to hire one of our participants a day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, or full time, and be willing to work with building that momentum and stability with them.
Who knew that if you were listening to Ron Siegel Radio right here on our social channels or ABC News and Talk KMET, that you'd be able to fill all those job needs that you have if you're a business owner, or some of them, right? And it might even be some of what I might call a menial job, someone else might call a great day's work.
Yeah, and for Anaheim, it's taking our own homeless, giving them resources and momentum, and then using them to do some of these tasks that are maybe in neighborhoods, helping a widow in a park, other things that are productive, and they build dignity in both parties.
Great stuff. If you want more info, do you have a website?
Yes, we do. www.loveanaheim.org. Pretty comprehensive. Our Better Way Anaheim page is connected to that. There's a link at the top. And then it's a pretty robust website. It gives a lot of info and opportunities to volunteer.
LoveAnaheim.org. If you have any questions, give me a call at 800-306-1990. We will put you in touch. And as always, we ask you, set that. Good job, Josh. Right there, right on top of it. He's got that showing up right there in front of us. As always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Very big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.